Hey everyone, it's Kaizouwar here, and I felt like talking about Nyctores for today. Now, the Nyctores, also known as Arch-Enemy in the Japanese version, are a set of weaponry in the BlazBlue universe created by Konoe Mercury, aka 9, during the Dark War to combat the Black Beast, and there were originally known to be 10 of them until the 11th one was revealed in BlazBlue Central Fiction. Now, these are all cool weapons, so this will be a top 5 list on the ones I would like to somehow wield if I ever came across any of them, if my dumb ass weeb isekai dreams ever came true. Seriously, the world of BlazBlue is freaking horrid. All of the crazy characters, about half of them being assholes in their own way. There's wars, there's gods, there's time loops, there's constant destruction, death. I mean, who would want to live there? Holy shit, I mean, I can't believe anyone. Oh yeah, I forgot I was making a list. My bad. Anyway, top 5 favorite Nyctores video list, go! The GIGANT TAKEMIKAZUCHI is a giant beast of a Nox that was created by 9 using her own knowledge, Seether, some magic and sorcery on the side, as well as the souls of individuals who were killed during the Dark War. 9 later realized that, holy shit, the TAKEMIKAZUCHI is too damn strong. Like, too strong. And was going to give up finishing it until a bunch of complications involving 2 of the 10 sages, 7 and 8, Celica being used to control it, and issues of having it try to beat the Black Beast, 9 decided to deactivate it and divide up his core, one half staying with TAKEMIKAZUCHI, and the other half being divvied up among the rest of the Nox. So after all of that, TAKEMIKAZUCHI was then sealed in a giant satellite until it was used by the NOL to nuke the 5th hierarchical city of Ibukido. Then it was used again by Takamagahara to nuke Kagatsuchi, but Rachel deflected it with the Tsukuyomi unit. Then Izanami summons it to fight back Ragna, Jin, and Noelle at BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma, and after it was defeated, along with Ragna and Celica removing Nu from its core, Izanami turns it into the embryo with apparently another version of it existing within the embryo, as Nu had managed to absorb it. Also, Nu, as 13, uses it in her Astral Heat in BlazBlue Alternative Dark War, which is a nice callback to BlazBlue Central Fiction. Well, apparently not so much as a callback, more like a continuation. Now, why did I put GIGANT TAKEMIKAZUCHI as one of the Nox I would like to wield? I mean, it's a giant beast thing. Who wouldn't want to use that? I mean, yeah, it has that dumbass limitation of it shooting one beam every 4 years, but it's a giant monster. It can do other things than shoot a beam. Shit, I've seen Highlander Assault Mode. I've seen that shit. Just freaking beat the shit out of you. I can just punch you, or it's just like you have it bite you, or I don't know. Something. The MUCRO ALGESCO YUKIANESA is used by Jin Kisaragi and takes the form of a katana. Now, I always thought that the YUKIANESA could just manifest ice and whatnot because I wasn't paying attention to the BlazBlue story at the time. I remembered the YUKIANESA having importance put on it, but in actuality, the YUKIANESA's primary ability is to take water already in the air, crystallize it, and then form ice out of that water, as well as just freeze water in general, which is pretty cool. Now, while I love ice powers and I am a weeb for swords, YUKIANESA will be one of the few Nox that I would never want to wield, despite being on this list. As we know about the Nyctores, they do affect the mentality of those who wield them badly, unless you're someone who is as strong of mind like Jubei or Hakunin. YUKIANESA is arguably the worst of this mental stress deal, as the weapon literally wants you to murder people, on top of the weapon locking itself down at times, preventing you from using it, which if there's an issue between you and the Nox. I really only put YUKIANESA on this list for the sake of having more defined abilities, plus ice swords are cool and I cannot deny that. The ARMA REBOARE MUCHOURIN was created specifically for Trinity Glassfield and takes the form of a large staff. It has the ability to materialize objects, and you can definitely see that in good effect in the case of Platinum the Trinity, creating all sorts of insane objects like a Pico Pico hammer or cat missiles. Now all of this sounds cool, at least to me, being able to create a lot of wacky objects and just plain weaponry out of thin air like that seems pretty awesome. But as with all Nox, the MUCHOURIN isn't immune to affecting the user's mentality. In this case, the MUCHOURIN causes one to lose their memories, which does suck, but hell, being able to create nearly anything you want seems to be a win for me, though losing your memories will be a main issue, so this kind of does balance out. You kind of have to know the objects you're creating, and I guess that the MUCHOURIN just takes away your memories, so you'll figure out how to not create a certain thing, and that's a thing. The MUCRO SOMNIO MUSASHI is the Nox Nyctores used by Jubei, and it was specifically created for him, much like how the MUCHOURIN was created with Trinity in mind. The core of the Nox was released by 9 after the Dark War had actually ended, but Jubei still uses it. The Musashi takes the form of 2 blades, which makes up the one whole Nox. Now honestly, the Musashi is the Nox Nyctores I have the least to say about because it has one primary ability. It can cut through things that normally cannot be cut, like special barriers. Hell, it can even cut through space and even shift it, which is actually pretty crazy. It can cut through nearly anything. I honestly wish the Musashi had more concrete abilities or something less vague than just cutting anything. But hell, having the ability to cut through nearly anything you want sounds like it. As I said before, I am a weeb for swords, and if I can have more than one sword, why wouldn't I take it? And last but not least, the ARCUS DIABOLUS BOLVERK is the Nox Nyctores used by Noel Vermillion, and it takes the form of a pair of white guns. The BOLVERK can shoot through space itself and essentially ignore things like walls or anything you can deem an obstacle to prevent your shots from being connected. As is seen in Noel's moveset, the BOLVERK can transform into various other kinds of firearms. Now Noel can summon the BOLVERK to her side at will, and has her own summoning sequence in BlazBlue Alter Memory.
BOLVERK! Come forth!
For some odd reason, she keeps the guns and holsters in her redesign in BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma onwards. Now the BOLVERK's quote-unquote mental drawback is that it has a limiter which can suppress the user's emotions like fear, anxiety, and whatnot. And while it isn't something insane like the YUKIANESA, having your emotions sealed away can be a dangerous thing in its own right, especially when wielding guns that can be changed to fire weak or deadly shots at will. So, to keep this short, Noelle is essentially so damaged that the guns were her only way to even talk to another person without outright collapsing right in front of them. But now with Noelle's newfound growth in BlazBlue Chrono Phantasma, and as she learned to master her Mood 12 form, seeing her BOLVERK and holsters is a way to me as to not hide herself anymore. She doesn't need the BOLVERK at this point to hold back her emotions, and she can move forward with her life without the guns stripping her of her fears and anxiety. Learning to come to terms with herself in Chrono Phantasma really makes this real for me, and I like how much the BOLVERK fits in line with Noelle's character and how she grew as a person. And that ends my list about my top 5 favorite Nox Nyctores in BlazBlue. What about yours, guys? I definitely want to hear what you guys got to say in the comment section. So, without further ado, I will see you all next time. I hope you have a great day. Kaizouwar is out.